Hello everyone, I am Bhavna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, GEMTEC Greater Noida. I welcome you all to the lecture series of Entrepreneurship Development. Today we are going to start with a new topic, that is forms of business ownership. Now a business may be run up by a single person or two persons or group of persons. So there are different forms of ownership like sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family system, cooperative organization, and joint stock company. Now, the first three, that is sole proprietorship, partnership, and joint Hindu family business, they are categorized as non-corporate, while the joint stock company and cooperative organizations are corporate forms of organization. A non-corporate form of business means they can be started without any legal formalities, while a corporate body can be run only after fulfilling certain legal formalities, which is being prescribed under the laws governing their functioning. So first we'll discuss sole proprietorship. Now, sole proprietorship is the oldest form of business organization. It came into existence when the exchange was begun. It is also known as individual proprietorship or single proprietorship. Now, it can be started by anyone which has aptitude for selling. It can be started with small amount of capital. So, sole proprietorship can be started or run by one person who bears all the profits and loss. So, a sole trader is a person who carries on the business exclusively for himself. Now, next we are going to discuss the features of sole proprietorship. First is it has a single ownership. Sole proprietorship is owned by one individual. So it is run entirely at the risk of loss. So the sole trader, there is a single ownership which provides the capital and the management to the business. Next is common identity. A sole tradership has no separate legal entity. So owner and business are one and the same. They have the common identity. So owner owns everything the business owns, and the owner owes everything the business owes. Next feature is capital. Now capital is employed by the owner through personal resources. Owner may borrow the money from their friends or relatives. Next is one man control. Sole tradership is a one man show. The sole trader or sole proprietor provides the management to the business. He takes all the decisions, procures the material resource, employs the person, controls the affair of the business. So the sole proprietor is not required to consult anyone else in taking any decision. And last one is profits and losses. The surplus which arise in the business entirely belongs to the sole trader, and all the losses and risks again has to be borne by the sole proprietor. Now we'll discuss the advantages or merits of sole proprietorship. First is easy formation. Now, establishing the sole proprietorship is easier as compared to other forms of organization. So a person who has small amount of capital, they can start the business without undergoing much legal formalities. Next point is flexibility. Sole proprietor is free to change the scope of business operations. So it is very flexible as the sole trader is the sole owner of the business. So if there is uh, any situation which demands the change in the nature of business or scope of business, so there is much more flexibility as compared to other forms of business organization. Next advantage is quick decision. Sole proprietorship makes the sole proprietor can quickly take decision, can quickly uh, take prompt action, as the sole proprietor has do not have to ask from anyone else. He himself is the owner and decision maker. Next advantage is secrecy. Now, secrecy can be easily maintained in sole proprietorship. So, there is no need to disclose the accounts or other material facts to the public. Next advantage is personal touch. Sole proprietor can maintain personal contacts with the customers. Direct contacts will enable the proprietor to know the nature of the customers, know their taste, likes, dislikes. So, the close personal touch with the customer enhances the reputation of the firm. Direct motivation. Now, the sole proprietor takes all the profits, bears all the risks, losses. So, there is direct relationship between effort and reward. So, whatever effort is being made, there is directly motivation because all the rewards will be solely earned by the sole proprietor. And last is independent way of life. Sole proprietorship offers independent way of life for people who have necessary skills, who do not wish to serve others. So it provides an opportunity of self-employment to those persons who have personal skills, who do not have sufficient funds. So these were the advantages of sole proprietorship. Now we'll discuss the disadvantages of sole proprietorship. First limitation is limited capital. Now, the financial resources in the sole proprietorship is generally limited because the sole proprietor can depend on his personal resources or can borrow from friends or relatives. And borrowing capacity also depends on the credit worthiness of the owner on his assets. So, the one of the limitation is that in sole proprietorship there is limited availability of funds. Next limitation is limited managerial skills. All the managerial functions which are essential for business activity, they are being performed by the sole trader. So all the benefits of specialization may not be available. Now, only one person may not be able to perform all the functions. He may be, so a particular sole proprietor may be good in finance, may not be good in marketing, may not be good in research or other technical skills. Next limitation is unlimited liability. That liability in case of sole proprietorship is unlimited. That the creditors can recover their debts from personal assets of the proprietor also, because there is no difference in the business and businessman. Proprietor may be completely ruined in case of failure of business. So this is one of the biggest limitations. Next is uncertainty. Now, there is uncertainty about continuity of business because the sole trader operates on a small scale. The activities are not well diversified. So, owners may be compelled to close the business. There can be death of proprietor. In that case, the business has to be closed. And last limitation is limited opportunities because the scale of operations is small. So, sole proprietor cannot avail the benefits of opportunities. Funds are limited, skills are limited. So, they, the sole proprietor, will not be able to avail the opportunity. Now, next topic is suitability of sole proprietorship. Now, the sole proprietorship is highly suitable in following cases. First, where the business requires less capital, where more personal attention is required, like in case of tailoring or professional services, where demand of products is influenced by seasonal trends or fashion, for catering the demand of local market, perishable products, laundries, or stores. So these are the areas where sole proprietorship is suitable to carry out. So in this lecture, we have discussed about one form of business ownership, that is sole proprietorship. We'll discuss other forms of organization in next lecture. Thank you. That's all for today.